inside, okay? Inside, I think there's a few things that can help us inside to be better shooters. And I've brought my attackman into the gym sometimes, and we've just used simple, right? We've used simple tennis balls. I'll get in the goal, right? Bennett comes down, right? And he's got to finish here, right? He's got to finish, okay? Wherever that might be. Now, Bennett, I'm glad you started out with that one. That's a beautiful one to start out in. You jump in goal now, okay? Bennett started with a little pump the hands, okay? If I'm an inside player, there are a few things before we do any fakes that I think can help us be finishers. One is, if I am catching a pass, I want to be able to catch it so that my stick is protected by my body. My body's in between my stick and my man. So, great catchers inside. I saw Bobby Benson talking about this, and he was one of the best at it. He would catch the ball, right? He'd almost turn his shoulders so that as that pass is coming, he'd catch it way back here. Okay, he'd catch it way back here, and then he'd be in a position where the guy can't throw any checks. He doesn't see any of your elbow. Your stick's protected by your body, and we're ready to finish. So if we can catch that thing deep with our shoulders turned, we're going to be in a good spot. Now, first little thing inside that I think can help us. We can pump those hands, and when I pump those hands, all right, the goalie is obviously going to move to where I'm pumping my hands. Now, one thing I think a lot of guys, especially younger guys, do is they pump and they're out here. By the time I bring that back, that goalie's reset. So we're going to pump and leave that stick head behind our head, all right, and then we're going to finish so that we can finish from that same point. So we want to be able to get this ball off quick, all right, and the way to do that is to leave that stick behind our head. I think younger guys, right, a lot of them are kind of looping. They don't have the fast twitch muscles. Man, that thing should be, you want to sell that thing a little bit, right? It should be a little spastic, and then we should finish that ball. So pump those hands nice and quick, but don't let the stick head come in front of our head. Now, one that John Tucker taught me in high school, it's a finish that I use all of high school. I think it's about the simplest one out there. Pumping hands is good for side to side or getting that goalie to move where you want him to move. Elbows are great for getting the guy to go high or getting the guy to go low. Now, the thing with elbows is, okay, if I bring that elbow forward, all right, that goalie looks at, I think, three things, and this is why we use these three things. Looks at the front hand, the front elbow, and the front shoulder. So we can move any of those parts, right, but we always want to leave this stick head in a shooting position. So if I pull that elbow high, that goalie usually comes high, and I finish low. Good save there, Bennett. All right? So pull that elbow low, and that goalie goes low, and then I finish high. But one thing, just get your guys to sit there with their stick here and move that elbow either place they want without moving the stick head, and I think that'll help. But we pump them high, and then you leave that stick head there, and I think a great finish is a little 3/4 right around that guy. The last little one, leaning our shoulders. All right, so see a lot of good indoor finishers here, right? They lean their shoulders one way. Elbows is good high to low, shoulders is good side to side. So if I'm leaning my shoulder one side, I'm going to finish the opposite side. All right, if I lean my shoulder here, I'm going to finish there. We're leaning our shoulders to get that goalie to move side to side, and then we're finishing in the opposite direction. So I lean and I finish. You bring your cup, lean, and I finish. All right, simple as that. I think if you can get guys working on first catching it deep and then working on those few different finishes, it can be a simple drill, but one that's very valuable. You can even bring them indoors and let them finish with a tennis ball on somebody else. And I think getting on a smaller goal helps with a lot of that type of stuff.
What are you talking about their eyes?
That's a great question. And I was talking to my assistant coach about it last night, and he said until he was 21, he always looked at the goalie, right? He was always looking at the goalie. And I think that what you're looking at is what you're usually going to hit. It's the same reason we give that nice big target when we're catching a pass. If I'm looking at the goalie, it's going to be real tough to hit the part of the net. I think that guy, luckily we got a face mask. Sure, do some goalies look at your eyes? I think so, but I think you can basically look where you want to shoot it. The goal more is using the hands and using the elbows and using the shoulders to get that guy to move and then finish into wherever we want. So I think keep your eyes on the net where you want to shoot, and I think aim small, miss small, right? Aim at something small, hit something small, especially inside. All right, but get that thing to the side pipes and see some of that net. Good question.